riding through this world all alone.
Hi, this is Roxy West, and I'm interviewing Bob Rader today. He was a part of a motorcycle club back in the 70s and the 80s, and he is no longer part of that club. So we're going to talk about what it's like to be a part of a motorcycle club. Hi, Bob.
Hello.
Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
So you're a part of a really notorious bike club, motorcycle club.
Yes, you might say that, yes.
And how did you get involved with the motorcycle club?
Well, my family, my father was a motorcycle rider from the 40s and the 50s. And all through my high school time, I had friends that were racing motorcycles all the time. And after I got out of high school, I had friends that were in this club, and we were partying with them, and we ended up joining with them.
Okay, what drew you to the motorcycle club?
The brotherhood, the security, the lifestyle in general. Just,
Right.
Yeah.
So there's a famous TV show called Sons of Anarchy that glamorizes the drugs, the sex, the breaking the law. Is motorcycles clubs, is there an element of that went along with the club that you were a part of?
Oh, sure, most certainly. That's part of the element of the whole deal.
And that's the reason why we're not naming the club that you're with, right?
Yes.
To protect your anonymity. So that drew you in? Was it the crime that drew you in, or what drew you in?
No, I like the riding. I've always loved the riding and the brotherhood and riding with friends, and I saw that in the club and was drawn to it.
And you keep using the word brotherhood. What do you mean by that?
A brotherhood is something that you can, like a family that you can depend on. And they can depend on you, and pretty much like that.
So that's kind of a key word, and that seems to draw young men into this that probably are lacking that sense of familyship, and that can kind of be dangerous, right? Because don't they ask you to do things that you wouldn't normally do, like break some laws and do some things to be a part, to prove your loyalty?
That's part of it, yes it is.
And
it can be dangerous, and it's part of the draw, yes.
like there's an initiation. What do they call that?
Prospecting.
You're prospecting, and you have to jump through a lot of different hoops and prove that you're loyal.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
What made you decide that you wanted to no longer be a part of the motorcycle club?
I think I got into it when I was 21 years old, and after 13 years of it, I just kind of grew out of it. And at the time, I was in a family element. I had a girlfriend that had daughters, and it was just time for me to get out.
Right. You jeopardize your life in these clubs?
You can, yes. Yes, yeah, most definitely. You're asked to do things for your brothers, even though your brother's doing things that aren't legal. You got to back their play. Yes.
Right, and they could do crazy things, right? Because sometimes they're loaded off of drugs and alcohol.
That too,
And
they're
their judgment.
just silly, nutty guys.
Right.
They get caught up in it.
So, if a young man came to you and says, "I want to join this biker club," what would you tell this young man?
I would say, be sure that's what you want, and try and steer him away from it. It's not for everyone.
And there's other biker clubs that don't have violence and criminal activity. What are some of those clubs?
There's hundreds of clubs, bike clubs, that are not as violent. More of a family-natured thing and Christian type thing.
There's even clubs that are against child abuse.
Oh, yes, there is.
All kinds of clubs that raise money and awareness to different causes.
Yes, there is.
Right. So what was the one thing that you miss about being a part of a biker club?
The camaraderie and the brotherhood and the security, knowing that I was safe. It was
That you were safe, that they would have your back, they would take care of you if your
Yes.
car broke down on the side of the road, or
that, or if my family was in need of anything, or I was in need of anything, I could count on them to come through for it.
in closing, is there anything more you would like to say on this topic?
Just be careful what you want, you know, and look into it well before you jump into it.
Great. Thank you so much, Bob, for joining us today. And that's a little bit of the inside track of what motorcycle clubs are all about. Thank you so much, guests, for joining us today, and stay tuned for our next show. Thank you. This is Roxy West. Have a beautiful, amazing day.